it is now time for the positive message for today. It is now time for the positive message for today. But before I begin that, let me just begin with my verbal verification as to I am the one and only Atavia Goldstar, the one and only Atavia Goldstar. Now for my verbal public copyright. Everything that I am saying in this YouTube live stream, book me Atavia Goldstar YouTube channel, are all of my ideas and creations coming from my mind, my thoughts, my lived experiences, and my opinions. And now for the title for the positive message for today. The title for the positive message for today will be, let me see, your authentic self. Your authentic self. And so I'm going to look for one of my positive messages over music. I'm going to put that on, and then I'm going to get started. And I actually had like 3 more other titles that I wanted to speak about. A title of the positive message that I wanted to, come to my YouTube house with today. I said, you know what? I'm going to save the best for last. I will save the best for last. And so I thought I'd come today with this one. And it will be, let me see. Okay, so I'll just put this on. Okay. So I'm going to say that, when you're trying to get to your authentic self meaning who you really are. Who are you? What are some of the things that, will people look at you and say, well, you know what? I know that is blah, 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 whoever your name is, because that is them. That is what they do. That is who they are. But what if, just what if you weren't really being your authentic self? What if you were being a people-pleasing person to being who you are? And you know deep down inside that you aren't really who you are, but you know that deep down inside you are wanting to be something more true to yourself. But you don't do it because you are used to. You are used to being who you are. Well, your certain surroundings, things that you have become accustomed to doing, things that you have become accustomed to, like your environment, and you wanted to be anew who you are. You wanted that so much deeply inside, but you don't know how to be your new authentic self. And so you're saying, you know what? Yes, you've been knowing me for years. We grew up together. You're my sibling. And you're saying, you know what? I know who you are. And you're saying to yourself, you don't know who I am, because deep down inside, who you are looking at me as I am and thinking that I am, I don't even like who I am. I don't even like who I am. But I want to develop myself anew of who I am. I want to be anew who I am. And so sometimes, when you wanted to be who you are, which you knew deep down inside, you wanted to be this who you are, you felt like, if I do this, will people look at me different? Will people say that, oh, why are you trying to be all different now? You know that ain't who you are. And you're saying, this is me. This is who I am. This is some of the things that I want to do. I want to dress like I'm dressing. I want to, do some of these things that are going to be better for me. You might not see me for a while because I am being my truly authentic self. All these things that I'm doing that you haven't seen me for a while, that you kept telling me and saying to me, I know you, I know who you are. How come I ain't seen you in about a month? And then you're saying, because you're knowing deep down inside that that person or your sibling thought who you were, you knew deep down inside, you didn't want to really be that who you were. You were saying inside of here, I want to change my life. I want to do some things new. I want to be a new who I am. I want to be my new authentic self. So I'm going to say your authentic self. Your authentic self. Do you know who you really are? Do you know who you really are? And if you decide to say, you know what? I'm going to be a change. I'm going to be a change. I'm going to do things different. I'm going to really focus on who I am. I'm going to really focus on who I am. And no matter if people are looking at you different and saying, you know what, I'm going to reverse that around. Maybe they aren't looking and they feel like, you know what, don't look, because we see that they have became anew. They're doing things different. They're being their authentic, true selves. They're authentic of who they think they are. Who do they think they are? You know what? Even if people aren't looking, because a lot of times they won't look, because they feel like if they look, or maybe even if they acknowledge the new who you are, you will, they know that if they are giving you attention to who you are, that builds your confidence up. And I'm going to say to you, have that confidence already inside of you to be who you are. No matter what people are saying or doing or looking or not looking, still continue to be your authentic selves. Be your authentic self, because if you aren't being your authentic selves, what are you doing inside of here? I'm going to say, I believe that inside of here, you are not going to be truly happy. You're not going to be truly happy because you're going to be just pleasing to others. So I'm going to say, whether the cameras are on and off, whether the cameras are on, and then you might turn the cameras off, I'm going to say continue to be your authentic self. Your authentic self. And sometimes maybe you need to get away. You need to get away just to be who you are. You maybe just need to get away from, I'm going to say things that are just like crowding your space. They maybe just be crowding your space. Or maybe they're not a positive influence to you. And you know it because you see it. You can see it whether on camera or not on camera. You can just about see when you have support. You can tell when the support is there. You can tell when people are really just like, I'm going to say, they are for you. When people are for you and they're your support, you're going to see it. You're going to see it in the things that are coming out. Like the things they're saying to you. Or maybe they aren't saying anything. They're just just being completely honest as one of my lived experience. When you know that you are doing something that you know that you want to do that are for the good of others, I'm going to speak on that just a little bit. When you know that you are doing something that are for the good of others, you ain't hurting nobody. You're uplifting others. You're inspiring others. You're giving them gratitude. You're going to be, you're really kind to others. And then people, you might see someone one day and you might say, oh, good morning, how are you? Maybe they don't say anything. They don't say anything. They just look at you. I'm going to say, don't let that stop you from being who you are. You continue to be who you are. Continue to be who you are no matter what's going on in your surroundings, in your space, in your life of what you're doing. Continue to be who you are. And I'm going to say, as far as for if you are a YouTuber, what if you are a YouTuber and you come to your live stream one day? You might just come to your live stream one day. You've gotten ready. You're ready. So you're sitting in front of your live stream. And so you've been looking at your live stream. I'm using YouTube for an example. And you've been coming to your YouTube live stream consistently doing all of the things that YouTube say that you should be doing as far as how you can grow your channel. I'm going to actually do a whole, positive message on this one day. As this positive message may encourage someone in saying who you are. What if you being who you are is also part of you coming to your YouTube channel? And people might not understand that. Like, why are you going to that YouTube channel every day? You get up every day, and I'm saying that because this is part of my lived experience. Why are you going to that YouTube channel every day? What makes you want to go to your YouTube channel every day? You're saying you're being your authentic self now. This is a change, and this is something that you want to do. So what makes you want to go to your YouTube channel every day? If you're saying that you have to have 1,000 subscribers, 1,000, I'm looking at you. And I remember when I was at 8. Subscribers. And people say, wow. I had some family members that said, wow, is that your YouTube channel? I said, yes. They said, wow, how did you get to 8 subscribers? I said, I don't know. I just keep putting stuff on my channel. I keep posting stuff on my channel. I say, wow, you have 8 subscribers. I'm going to say, you know what? Being consistent as being my authentic self, as me encouraging, uplifting you, and inspiring you through this positive message, me being consistent as me hiring myself on October 2nd. I said, hire yourself on October 2nd. No matter if you're working really hard, like our regular jobs that we might do from 9 to 5, Get up and share that with the community. That is what makes me want to come to my YouTube channel each and every day. It's me being my authentic self, because as being a caregiver by heart, I'm going to say that comes first. And then me being my authentic self of being a professional certified life coach, which now I am titled as an entertainment life coach, sharing my lived experience, being my authentic self as I am encouraging you with this positive message for today. Whether people are watching or not, I continue to be my authentic self. So, I'm getting back to YouTube. So, you're coming to your YouTube channel consistently. You might come twice a day like I'm doing right now, early in the morning. Maybe sometimes you're not going to be on time all the time. You can't really live your life by others' commands. You have to continue to be yourself and develop yourself into who you're going to be, as that is training yourself to be more of your authentic self. So when you finally get to a place in life where you're there, where you're there after you have gone through all of the storms. Yesterday was rain or shine consistently. After you have been through the storm, and now here is the sunshine, your overflow of your training and going through what you've been through. Maybe you've came late sometimes. Maybe the people weren't there, but you showed up anyway. I'm going to say that comes from training. That comes from training. And no one knows your story like you know your story. No one knows your story like you know your story. For you are being your authentic self. For how can you be your authentic self if your story is how they're writing it for you? It can't be. You can't be your authentic self if your story is how they are writing your story out to your life, to how they think that your life should be. If someone else is writing your story to your life, there is no way possible that you're being your authentic self. And so, you know what? As I was speaking about that storm, so the storm is gone, and now it's a sunshine. Your sunshine has finally arrived. And when I say that, meaning your abundance. And I'm not just not speaking of an overflow of money, which you know that is going to come. You know that is eventually going to come. But then you're going to have people, guess what? They're going to continue to maybe treat you the same. They're going to continue to treat you the same, but they won't know the process of your story and how you became your truly authentic self. Because you would have went through a lot, maybe rejection just to be your authentic self. You maybe would have went through a lot of I'm going to say degrading, maybe people degrading you or saying unkind things to you just because just maybe, you are committed to being your authentic self. Maybe you're going to have to walk that road alone to continue to be your authentic self. And I'm going to say just maybe, you're going to lose out on friends. You're going to lose out on friends just to be your authentic self. See, I'm going to tell you the real truth, meaning to being authentic and real. Especially when you know deep down inside of here, you're not being your authentic self. But you want that change. You want to become your authentic self. So I'm going to tell you some of the things that you may have to lose out on. You have to just lose out on some of that to become your real authentic self. Maybe you want to change your appearance. You say, you know what? That ain't really who I am. I really don't want to dress like that. It's something that I want to do for myself. And people say, no, now you're coming around us and you're looking like that. We feel uncomfortable now. You're making us feel uncomfortable. Why you gotta look like that every time we see you? Because deep down inside of here, you got somewhere you step into and where you going, and you wanna, classy and fabulous, maybe chic. And people say, you know what? We're feeling very uncomfortable around you now. I think we'll just let you do you. You know what? So are you gonna go back to being that person for others just because they're telling you, you know what? It's too much. It's too much for what we're doing. We're just going, where we normally go every week to hang out. And you usually didn't even wear that. You just throw on a t-shirt and a pair of gym shoes and maybe a pair of joggers and a cap. But now we're seeing you may be wearing a suit and a tie. Or you might be wearing a beautiful dress. A beautiful dress. And people are saying, wow, what's going on? Why all of this? Why could you know? And here, I'm going somewhere. That change that I want to make for my authentic self. You know what? I'm chasing my authentic self. I'm chasing my authentic self, and that comes with a lot to my process of mind growing. You know, you might just be thinking that on the inside. But I'm going to encourage you today that if you are chasing your authentic self, you're chasing your authentic self, and you know, you may have to be without some of those things that you're used to being with, whether people or just physical things that you may just have to be without, because you are developing a new authentic self, right? You're chasing your authentic self. So I'm going to encourage you to do that, And however you may have to do that, I'm going to encourage you to do that, because I'm going to say, I believe, as my opinion, as one of my lived experience, that if you're not doing that, you're not happy. You're not truly happy. And sometimes when you're not happy, when you're not truly happy, it can maybe turn into a negative something. But I'm going to save that for another positive messages, as me taking the training for peer support training. So I have like the mindset and the credibility behind me to speak on some of these things that I am speaking about. But again, I'm going to say this again, that if you are not being your true authentic self, in my opinion, should I say, allegedly, you know, the most popular luxury word that we use today, allegedly, maybe you just may not be happy. And maybe if you are not happy, and to being your authentic selves, it can maybe turn into something that is negative. I'm going to leave it at that. But again, the positive message for today is being your authentic selves. And I will speak more on this positive message. I'm going to call this part one. I'm going to call this part one. And so I believe that I have broken down this positive message for today. As a matter of fact, I might have said a little too much, but I can't help it. I'm being my authentic self. For I'm totally obsessed with encouraging others, uplifting you and inspiring you to become more of your greatest selves, strengthening you, encouraging you more to smile and dance. Yes, I just love that. Smile and dance. Wow. Laugh more. Sing if that's what you do. And if you think about what I'm saying, it's all part of my brand. And I will also speak to you more about that, because I'm looking at my clock right now. And I don't want to be behind in my schedule. So I see that there are just a few texts in the chat. And I'm going to say to you all, thank you for coming over to join me today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And I'm going to just quickly look at your text in the chat so I can begin to close out and, get to my schedule for today. Okay, so I'm going to say Thank you so much for coming over to hang out with me. Have a positively and beautiful. This is Tuesday or Wednesday. This is Wednesday. Have a positively and beautiful Wednesday. Today is January 7th, 2026. And I want to say thank you so much for coming over to hang out with me. And so be in is saying, you know what? I might see that what you have, and I'm going to still say to you, because I'm being my authentic self. Have a positively and beautiful Wednesday to you. And thank you so much for coming over to hang out with me. And so KASSIE is saying the first beginning of your name. Have a positively and beautiful Wednesday to you. Thank you so much for coming over to hang out with me. And so, all this music, do you know what you worth? Do you know? Who are you? 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 ERIN Martin. Have a positively and beautiful Wednesday to you. Thank you so much for coming over to hang out with me. Say to KASSIEDOE, first beginning of your name. Okay, so I did. Have a positively and beautiful day to you. And thank you again for coming over to hang out with me. ANDREI, the first beginning of your name. Hi. Thank you for coming over to join me. Have a positively and beautiful Wednesday to you. So I'm going to say to you all, and even sometimes if people are saying things to you that you're like, why are they saying these things to you? Don't let that change you for being your authentic self. Don't let that change you from being your authentic self. You continue to be truly who you are. That is if you believe in you being your authentic self. If you believe that and to that and who you want to be as far as who you are as being your authentic self, don't let anybody change that. In my opinion, I'm going to say to you, don't let anybody change that. And so I am now going to begin the process of closing out this positive message for today. And I'm going to close it out and leave you with the positive message that I will always leave you with as me being my authentic self. It is going to be you. Positive love. I'm going to say to you, positive love. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Book me and take a gold star. I want to say, if you have subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing. Like, share, and comment. Like means, hit the thumbs up. Share this YouTube video with someone. You might say, you know what? I know maybe it's coming up in conversations. You just never know who you may be helping out. I'm going to say comment, because I do check those comments out and I will reply back to you. I'm going to say hit the notification bell. So you might be notified when I'm uploading a YouTube live stream. I might just do a pop-up video or a pop-up live. So I'm going to say, you hitting the notification bell is most definitely going to notify you when I'm uploading the video. I'm going to say to you all, you know what? It is your choice. If you want to, go ahead and tell somebody, you know what? A TV Gold Star ain't doing nothing over here on her YouTube street. book me a TV gold star. But she's doing something. She ain't just doing it on camera either. She's uplifting and inspiring others to be more of their greater and better selves, strengthening them, encouraging them to laugh more, dance more, sing, smile. I want to say to you all, have a positivity and beautiful and safe Wednesday. Positive love, positive love, positive love, positive love. See you next time.